Thank you so much. It was quite the relief. All the hard work paid off. I feel great. It's definitely, you feel a little bit more comfortable in the orchestra afterward. I don't see why I wouldn't be here the rest of my life. It's beautiful here, and the orchestra is amazing, and I love what I do. I do feel like I've returned home, but really for me, Texas is where I grew up, and that's kind of what I consider more home. Yeah, there's a certain familiarity to this place that I think stems from being born here. Yeah, it's a nice day out. You see the Hollywood sign over there. The first season, especially when I first got there, it was really fast, I think. You have stuff every week, multiple concerts, it's way different coming from college where maybe you have one concert a month. I think the second or third week I was on the job, we went to Boston, New York City, Mexico City, and Guanajuato, and we took Mahler 1 and Copeland 3 on tour. And so, I was like, all right, well, here we are. This is the LA Phil. This is what we do right away. We're gonna go take these big pieces on tour, and you gotta be ready. And it's a whole, it's a lot of fun. It's always a lot of work too, though. We're in Carnegie Hall, and I think it was when we did Copeland 3, and we hadn't rehearsed it, in over a week or played it, and so that was kind of gnarly. We're just kind of dusting it off, and then we're putting it right on the track and going, and it went really well. One of those first concerts that Tindall came and played with me, and so that was a special moment to share with one of my mentors. We played Symphony Fantastique together, and it was with Maida. He was an LA Phil conductor, and he hired Roger Bobo, and then when he was in New York Philharmonic, he hired Warren Deck, which is both Aaron and I's teacher. So it was pretty cool to be a part of that legacy and share that together. Because the camaraderie in the Frost Tuba Euphonium studio was very uplifting. That first semester, it was like, all right, let's just put our nose down and grind, and let's work on the stuff I'm bad at. There weren't any auditions happening, so it's not like I need to hammer away excerpts right away. How could I just get more bulletproof? Kind of undoing some bad habits and putting in good habits in place. And so there were some changes that I had to go through that certainly didn't happen overnight. The next year, there were auditions starting to happen. I haven't had that vibe in a studio where everyone is waking up a few times a week, getting together at like 6:30 in the morning and warming up together and going through like an hour and a half fundamental routine. And it was very helpful because I needed that, because I don't think I could do that on my own. It was competitive, don't get me wrong, it was very competitive, but it wasn't toxic really at all, and it was very friendly, and we just all wanted to get better. There were those days where it's like, all right, I gotta hit all this stuff, and I gotta take it slow. There was a time where I would do a fundamental exercise and I would not move on until it was perfect in that moment, that I could get. If I messed up, I would do it again. If it wasn't how I wanted, I would do it again. And so sometimes that routine could take 3 hours because I would not move on. I think the standard is just so high, and we all hold each other to that. Even if you're a freshman right out of high school, you're going to get let known that you're not at this standard and this is where you want to be. And it's not just fundamentals, it's music making too. If you're not making a phrase, then like also what's the point? But also if you're making a phrase and you're completely out of tune or missing, you're not centered on any notes, what is the point of that too? I can't hear any music because I'm all distracted by all the flaws. So we're chasing both. If your air's not right, it doesn't matter if you manipulate anything else in your playing, in your embouchure or your tongue or whatever. You have to have the air right in order to even think about tweaking anything else. So I think what he was really good at with everyone in the studio is believing in us. He would obviously work with you a lot, and he knows all the work you put in, and he would instill his own belief in you to achieve all your goals, everything you want to achieve, and he really helped you believe in yourself too. It's usually first come, first serve. I don't see anyone in here. This is usually the brass warm-up room. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of prep going back to the two auditions before then. You know, Richmond was before then, before that was San Diego. But then, of course, LA Phil was going to be in May. I had to take that. And so the prep, like I said, it started a while back, and I had a lot of momentum. 2 weeks before the audition, I was preparing my master's recital. And that is a lot to juggle, all these solos in addition to all these excerpts. But I didn't have to do quite as much prep on the excerpts since it's like you make chili and you freeze, you put it in a bag and you put it in the freezer, and then you store it away. When you're ready for it and you need to get it out, take it out, pop it in the microwave, and it's good to go. I ramped it all back up again, and I was doing mocks every day, like in the morning, in the middle of the day, at night, you name it, anytime, anywhere, for anyone. And I'd record everyone. Next morning, I'd listen to all of my mocks, and I would write what I needed to fix. Right after that, warm up, do my daily routine that I've been doing for this audition, which, I kept it short for this one, and fixed everything real quick, and rinse and repeat. Mocks, anytime, anywhere, for anyone, record, and then, soon I would have less and less things I needed to fix. But yeah, I was on the first day of prelims, and I think I was one of the first people to go, like maybe number 5. I had some people in my round that were in other professional orchestras that didn't make it out of that in my wave. And I was like, okay, well, that's encouraging, because they're obviously great musicians, and they have had success. I felt like I had as good a shot as anyone, and, all my rounds I feel like I'm playing pretty well. I'm happy with what's happening. Nothing's perfect, but it's all good. Just keep it going. And 4 of us make it out of semis into finals. Nonetheless, you just try and block out all that noise and just focus on yourself, and just kept trusting that. And there were two final rounds, a final and a super final round. First final round, I had to play first movement of Vaughan Williams with a pianist, and then I played five orchestral excerpts immediately after that. And then the next round started a super finals, which was section playing, and so I got to play with the low brass section. I knew one of the players from Aspen, Jim Miller. He's the associate principal trombone, and so when you see that and he's smiling at you, it's a comforting feeling instead of like this crazy nerve-wracking audition. So I just, any comfort I could find in an audition process, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna latch onto it. I'm just being myself and hoping that this is what they want, and I'm trusting that everything happens for a reason. I'm letting go, and sure enough, it worked. I won. I was chosen, and so that was a very exciting thing, to hear your name called and have the whole audition committee giving you applause as you're walking on stage and congratulating you, and Gustavo Dudamel was the first one shaking your hand. It was pretty surreal moment. Yeah, couldn't be happier. I think it's because they have the stage set for Star Wars with all the wires, and we were playing with click tracks and stuff, and there's a lot of mics, so it's just, I think that's probably why they don't want people going there. I don't think anything's going on. I've always wanted to be an orchestral tuba player, and I knew I would be. I knew I would be, because I wasn't going to stop until I did. Positive mindset, absolutely, because it can get dark real quick. You're going to get frustrated. All those things are going to happen, those negative feelings, but you have to turn it a positive and think, okay, well, what can I learn from this? What was holding me back? What could I do better? Or during the process, I did this and it didn't help me. What could I do differently that would actually help here? Other than just sitting down in a practice room and playing the tuba and playing this excerpt over and over again, think about all the different ways that you could get better at that excerpt. Is it such as like listening, even taking a life experience that you think could fit a character of an excerpt, take that from your own personal life. How can you apply that to the excerpt to really give it more meaning? Everyone behind that panel is looking at the excerpt that you're looking at, and they're looking at all the markings. They don't play the tuba, but they can read music and they can see the markings. How can you bring those out? He does like some volume too, so he lets us do our thing, and it's a lot of fun. Oh yeah, here's all this stuff. I love hanging out with friends and my family, and I love spending time with them. I love sports, basketball and football mostly. I can go down the street, Lakers Arena, used to be called Staples Center, it's Crypto.com Arena now. But, I like going out too. I like bars, I like pubs, restaurants, clubs are fun too. There have been times where, I was playing too hard and I wasn't working hard enough, and you look yourself in the mirror like, oh, I gotta dial it back because I need to put some more work in. But then there have been plenty of times where it's like I am working way too much and I need a break, and I am going insane, and or I'm working too much where things are getting worse, so then you have to dial that back actually, and then remind yourself you have friends and family that probably would like to talk to you, and you just gotta recalibrate when you need to. My true passion is playing in the orchestra, and that's where I feel most comfortable. It's where I feel at home. That's what I love doing. That's where my passion is. But I like playing solos. Like I said, not as much as playing in the orchestra, because I think I like that, being that team player and collaborating with that many musicians. It is also really fun to, play some fast notes and be in the front of the stage. And I actually do have a concerto performance coming up in January with one of the local youth orchestras here in California, and I'm doing the John Williams Tuba Concerto, and I'm looking forward to it. We got Brahms 2 and Gurrlieder coming up towards the end of this year, and next year I think we got Mahler 5, Mahler 7, Tchaik 6, also Sprague. I'm always looking forward to those big pieces. In October, we're going on Asia tour, and we're going to go to Seoul, Tokyo, and Taipei. And I've never been to any of those places, so I'm really looking forward to that. That'll be a lot of fun. I've had such great mentors in my life, and I want to pass that along to future students and inspire them to dream big. You can achieve it. It's possible. So why not dream big and go for it?